The sharing economy is an economy that is based around people and planet. It's an economy that recognises there are two things that we can't change. One, that we have a growing population. Two, that we have a planet of finite resources. So a sharing economy is based around the sharing of our resources, both human resources and physical resources. The sharing economy is not a cashless economy, it's a hybrid economy, but it's about making the world work better. So it's about connecting idling capacity, such as, for example, in the UK, there are 15 million tonnes of food that would go to landfill, needlessly and pointlessly. And it's connecting that food with the 4 million people that are living in food poverty. So it's actually about making the world work better, and it's about connecting surplus with demand at its most basic level. People Who Share is a campaigning organisation that campaigns to raise awareness around the need for a sharing economy and to really build a sharing economy. And we engage millions of people through our initiative Global Sharing Day, and we've reached over 70 million people in 192 countries with this initiative. And it's very much about shining a spotlight on the sharing economy, demonstrating to people that this is about living smarter. Sharing is about using the things that you have but you don't need to get the things that you do need. We've built a global movement based on partnerships, based on people and relationships. So we have 185 partner organisations that we work with, and the combined reach of those organisations gives us the size of the network. And those organisations work to promote the sharing economy, to promote the different sharing activities that they are already doing, and we in turn promote what they do, because it's very much by working in partnership. And this is also about a new way, new business models, and business models are springing up that are based around this sharing of resource, because the smartest entrepreneurs recognise that as resource gets scarcer, how to future-proof your business is to build a business that's based around the sharing of resource. So the way that you make your money is based around that releasing of that underutilised capacity. Now has existed really through donations, but people sharing their time and their skills and their talents. And we've had some extraordinarily, prolific people that have come and shared their time and their talents with the campaign. But more recently, we've moved into a sponsorship model. So we're working with corporates across lots of different sectors, and we're engaging those corporates, like, for example, Marks and Spencer, and then more recently we're working with Kingfisher and B&Q, who are recognising that the sharing economy is absolutely here to stay. So that's the model for the people who share, and that's really how that generates money, by working cross-sectorally and really convincing businesses and demonstrating that the sharing economy is actually shaping the way that the future business will be done. Compare and Share is a new initiative that we've launched. It's a company that we've built the first online comparison marketplace of the sharing economy. Essentially what we're doing is opening up the sharing economy in the same way that eBay opened up the second-hand goods market. Because unless we deliver this to consumers in an easy-to-use package, then it's not going to be ubiquitous. And ultimately our mission is to make sharing ubiquitous, so that people start to realise in this on-demand culture that we live in, that actually I can make some money out of the spare room that I have in my house. I can make some money out of my driveway that's unused for 23 hours a day. I can make some money from my car that is sitting around not being used most of the time. And these are all idling assets that we all have access to in some form or another, whether it's the clothes that sit in our wardrobes that we never ever wear. We wear 20% of our wardrobes, if that. So this is about releasing that idling capacity and making money from it. In order to make it really easy for consumers to do that, what Compare and Share does is it puts it all in a one-stop marketplace. So in that one marketplace, you come into that marketplace, for example, because you need a suit. And you come into that marketplace and one company doesn't have that, another one will. You want to share a car or ride, for example, which is what we're currently doing at the moment, aggregating all the UK operating car and ride sharing companies. You need to get from Leeds to Manchester, and you put in your details and it brings up a range of options. And if Zipcar can't help you, then ultimately Lyft Share surely will. And that's really the thinking behind Compare and Share. Deliver it to the consumer, make it ubiquitous, make it easy. I worked in broadcasting for over 20 years. I was a journalist at the BBC, an executive producer and a media entrepreneur. I had 2 production companies and lived and worked in New York for 8 years. And really what brought me to this was, I've been a sharer all my life. At the age of 8 years old, I organised a charity group to stand outside supermarkets to ask people to share food when they went into the supermarket, to buy an extra tin of food and to share that with someone living in food poverty, and we would deliver that food. And that was from the age of 8. So that's always been something that's been within me, and by nature I'm somebody who, in the media, in the kind of, the sort of backstabbing world of the media, I would always be the person that would share my context, because my belief has always been that there is abundance. You help someone, they help you. That's the way the world works best at its most human level. So that's always been there. My journey really into the sharing economy, I hit 40 and I wanted to give back, and it's as simple as that. It's a cliche, it's a classic scenario where you start to think about what's really important in life, and ultimately I decided that actually what's important to me is that what gets me out of bed on a morning is I want to create a better world for my children, and I don't want them to be saying to me when they're 40 years old, "Mum and Dad, what were you thinking? Why didn't you do something about this?" Because actually the pressing realities of our resource crisis is within our lifetime, and that is a reality that people need to wake up to, and ultimately we are going to need to share to survive. And when you look at the world is currently in financial, economic and environmental crises, and actually sharing is a very, very simple solution to that. And it's good for business, it's good for the planet, and it's good for the people in it, and it's sustainable, and that's really what it's about. We've launched Sharing Economy Television, which broadcasts from thepeoplewhoshare.com, and it is the world's first crowdsourced sharing platform, that is TV web platform that has content about the sharing economy. And what we do is it's user-generated content. It's also, we have lots of different kinds of content. We stream live from events, and we will be streaming live from real experiences of sharing. So as people are going through that experience of perhaps doing a house swap for the first time, we will be there live capturing that, and that's really how this works. It's something that we've launched about a month ago. We launched it from the We Share Fest in Paris, and it's something that's gaining traction. On Global Sharing Day we broadcast live from 10 countries around the world, and that's really just the beginning, and there's huge potential for this.